You may have read about the civil unrest and the riots spreading across the United Kingdom. Well, if you're looking for somebody to blame, look no further than Elon Musk, who has repeatedly clashed with the new Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, amid this far-right rioting right across the country. Violence spread onto Britain's streets after the suspect accused of killing 3 young girls in Southport was falsely identified online as an asylum seeker who arrived in the UK via a small boat. The misinformation, originating from various online sources, quickly spread throughout the country, leading to these violent scenes at a vigil that was held for the 3 children. These events escalated into several days of unrest and riots across the country, which the government struggled to respond to initially. And in the main, the violence was perpetrated by white nationalists, the far right, Reform UK voters, Brexiteers, the white working class, and all instigated by one online post originally from a woman who made up the identity of the killer from the comfort of her own home. Well, she's been arrested. The woman accused of being the first to post a false Muslim name for the suspect is the managing director of a clothing company, a mother of 3 in her mid-50s. She's married to an artist, and they live in a £1.5 million farmhouse in the rural north of England. She posted on Twitter, or X, or whatever it's called, that Ali al-Shakati was the suspect, that he was an asylum seeker who came to the UK by boat last year and was on an MI6 watch list. She said if this is true, then all hell is about to break loose. A British tech company that reports on misinformation said that her post was the first to contain the name. Her comment went online 61 minutes before the Russian-linked Channel 3 Now website published an article which went viral online and was repeated on Russia Today, or RT, the Russian state broadcaster. Now, that false information sped around the internet and played a part in prompting the anti-immigration riot in Southport the following evening. An hour after it was published, she deleted the post. She's a prominent campaigner against lockdowns and climate change, and she has tens of thousands of followers. She's now deleted her account. Incorrect posts giving a false name for the suspect, claiming he was Muslim, claiming he was on an MI6 watch list and known to the local mental health services. Now, you can see how disinformation that is purposely placed, misinformation might be by accident, but disinformation is on purpose, and it is designed to cause maximum harm and damage, and in this case, violence. And the unrest of the past week has seen members of the far right targeting Muslim communities and mosques, despite the perpetrator of the stabbings eventually by a judge being named as a 17-year-old British man born in Wales. He's turning 18 next week, which is why the judge was prepared to release his name in the hope that it would curtail some of the violence. But the point that I'm making is that all of this craziness, all of this smash and grab, violence towards the police, looting, and people turning on each other is all caused by disinformation sent via tweets and ignited by people like Elon Musk. Well, stop the boats, these small boats coming across the English Channel, was the anti-immigration slogan created by the previous Conservative government. Well, in a slew of tweets aimed at Keir Starmer over the past week, Elon Musk has questioned whether the riots were taking place in Britain or the Soviet Union, and even claimed that civil war is inevitable. Well, Musk deleted that post after around 35 minutes. By then, it had already accumulated over 1.8 million views. He also shared a fake Telegraph article claiming that Keir Starmer was considering sending far-right rioters to emergency detainment camps in the Falkland Islands. Musk deleted that post after about 30 minutes, but a screenshot that was captured suggested it garnered nearly 2 million views before it was deleted. In it, Musk shared the image posted by the co-leader of the far-right group Britain First, which she captioned with, "We're all being deported to the Falklands." Now, this fake piece of journalism purportedly written by a senior news reporter for the Telegraph newspaper and mocked up in the style of the paper, said that camps in the Falklands would be used to detain prisoners from the ongoing riots as the British prison system was already at capacity. I just want to interrupt myself for a moment to ask you to support me and independent journalism by becoming a member of this YouTube channel. Click join just below. It starts at just $3 a month, and it would be really helpful because at the moment things have never been more complex and more dangerous with the rise of fascism and the fall of US democracy. So I'm going to do my best to put these messages and this analysis out every single day, but I really need your help to do that. If you don't want to join the YouTube channel and you're already on Patreon, you can sign up for my Patreon as well at patreon.com/5minutenews. Thank you. And this has reignited calls for the government to adopt an official definition of Islamophobia with the hope that it could help educate sections of the public and clamp down on violence and abuse. You see, white British people, not all, but some, the same in the United States, people feel aggrieved at the changing demographic of the world. It's not just the US, it's not just the UK, there is a changing demographic in the world, which hopefully is going to bring us all together, create a sense of unity and integration to stamp out racism. And yet, the opposite is happening, clearly, here in the US and in the UK too. Now, the violence has curtailed. The police said there was a turning point in the last couple of nights, suggesting that this fast sentencing and these public order operations have acted as deterrents to these far-right-led agitators. And thousands of anti-racist demonstrators gathered on Wednesday evening, created human shields to protect asylum centres, dwarfing a handful of anti-immigrant rallies. Because, the far-right have been attacking hotels where asylum seekers are held, or where they're, given homes whilst their paperwork is being done. Their complaint is that immigrants are getting more support than they are as white English people, which is untrue and doesn't make any sense. But still, when you have people like Elon Musk and others like the leader of the far-right political party Reform UK, Nigel Farage, a self-appointed friend and ally of Donald Trump and the architect of Brexit, he on Wednesday admitted to spreading misinformation following the knife attack. Now, Nigel Farage is known for his extremist political views. He posted a video online shortly after the attack in which he speculated on the background of the killer as an immigrant. He said that some reports suggest he was known to the security services, a claim that has been proven false. He got his information from the internet, from Russian state TV, and from the social media of an idiot called Andrew Tate. And then all this information was then shared by another far-right extremist, a former English Defence League leader, Tommy Robinson, who was on vacation in Cyprus. He used social media to stoke the flames, claiming immigration was the cause of the murders and encouraging people to take to the streets. And while Tommy Robinson has been abroad since the 28th of July, when he fled the UK on the eve of a High Court hearing over contempt of court proceedings, he has maintained a near constant commentary on events in the UK since the fatal stabbing of these 3 young girls on the 29th of July. And while he has long been a prolific user of multiple social media platforms, benefiting in particular from the return of his X account after Elon Musk bought Twitter and gave him back his right of reply. You see, the problem here is a combination of things, but ultimately misinformation, disinformation, and ownership of these networks, whether it be RT from Russia or whether it be Twitter from Elon Musk. These platforms are designed to encourage disinformation and to sow confusion and to cause chaos. And we're going to see it into the November election here in the United States. And the tragedy of this story is that the boy that committed these crimes originally who is a British boy born in the UK, the misinformation surrounding his identity is the reason for this entire week of insanity, where the United Kingdom is unrecognizable to how it was just the week before. And this is why we have to take this disinformation seriously and recognize that it can change minds, it can change outcomes, it can change elections, but it can also cause violence, destruction, and even death. I'm Anthony Davis. You can hear me on the 5 Minute News YouTube channel and podcast on Wednesdays, co-hosting Uncovered, and on Sunday on The Weekend Show with Midas Touch.